put that over there. Morning, everybody. Good morning, lovelies. How are you all? I hope you are well. I'm okay. I say okay because, yeah, a little bit frazzled. I literally just put the lights on to come and sit here and, well, I've been sat here all morning, but put the lights on for filming, and that light above has just blown, which seems like par for the course for the last few days. I'll be honest, the last few days have been a bit, if it can go wrong, it has gone wrong. And even if it can't go wrong, it has still gone wrong. So really frustrating couple of days, and some of it I can't do anything about for a couple of days. It's one of those scenarios where I have to sort of say to myself, right, Vivi, you just have to park. You have to park all that for now. Today's a fresh day, a new day. Get on with today and not be distracted by that stuff. Try and get today's stuff done. You will get that, I know, you understand. But it's that thing of, it's like it's sitting on my shoulder, yapping in my ear. Oh, this, that, the other, from the last 2 days, all that went wrong. You need to fix everything that went wrong. Shut up. So yeah, I'm going to power on as best I can because, well, I'm trying to put some wheels in motion which will sort of all going in the direction of getting me moved out of this property and into another property. And yeah, it's taking time. It is, look, last year was a write-off. So we know why. Last year, write-off. Let's forget that. But yeah, I understand. I know some people have been feeling frustrated with me because I haven't moved yet. Why don't you just move? You know, these things take time, have to do it in my time. But the other thing, and I was thinking about this today in reference to a comment I had, which I'll mention in a second. Part of the issue is, of course, I don't get any time off to do all the stuff to do with house moving. So if you think about it, if I was working, you know, let's say I go back to my bookshop days, working Monday to Friday, well actually I worked Sunday to Thursday, but just for ease of reference, if I was working Monday to Friday, I get paid. Essentially though, I'm getting paid for 7 days. I'm getting paid Monday to Sunday. I get paid for a whole week, yay! And every single week I get 2 days off work, in which I can do other stuff. Brilliant. But more than that, paid holiday. So when I was at the bookshop, I had holiday and including bank holidays, because we were open bank holidays, so if I worked the bank holiday I'd have that day off at another point, but I had 28 days annual leave. That's paid for holiday. They're not paying me to go away somewhere, but if I take a week off work I still get paid. And 28 days paid leave, that's the equivalent of nearly 2 days short of 6 weeks paid holiday. In other words, every 2 months I could take a week off work and I'm still getting paid. Woohoo! In this life, I don't, you know, and by the way, it's not a pity party, it's just trying to explain why things do take time with me. Partly because I'm doing everything on my Todd, but that thing of I guess you'd call me self-employed. I am self-employed, I work for myself, but I don't generate enough money to ever have paid holiday. So I don't have holiday and I don't have days off. Therefore, to do anything extra like all this house move stuff, I've got to somehow fit that into my already busy working week. Someone in comments recently, I think she's fairly new to my channel. Oh, and I should say as well, there have been loads of new subscribers. Hello and welcome to you all. You're very warmly welcomed here. And I hope you see, you know, I don't know if you're the kind of person when you watch a video, you read other comments, but if you do, you'll see that there's a lot of lovely people here. There's a lot of warmth, there's a lot of friendliness, and in some instances a lot of support. You know, if someone's writing in a comment about something tough they're going through, you'll see other people piling in to give them a bit of support. So yeah, you're very welcome here. But this this woman had commented to say, it was on one of my book videos, she said, when you're not in the garden and you're not reading, what do you do? Do you ever get bored? It's a great question. And I thought, and I replied to her, I don't have time to get bored because just producing 3 videos a week, boom, that's 30 hours of the week gone already. All the social media stuff, that's probably an hour a day answering comments, queries. Anyway, the shop, sewing. The point I'm trying to make is, I'm sorry if I'm not going fast enough with my house move for some people, but you know, extenuating circumstances last year, and here we are, you know, we're a month and a bit into the new year. What's happening? So I am now putting a few things in place. So I'm starting here with you all. This was going to be a day in the life. I don't know if it will be, because it might. Anyway, I've spent, and goodness me, the morning has disappeared. It's already half 11, just looking on the computer screen. I've been at it since about 8 this morning. So what have I done? Great news. Let's start with really good news. Oh my goodness. The lease. I finally have the lease. Well, I don't actually have a hard copy. I have been sent an electronic copy. And this is another point, the solicitor. I'll come to solicitors in a minute. Yeah, it's nigh on 3 years. It's just coming up to 3 years I've been waiting for this. I had last October, I got back in touch with Land Registry. One of the things that's been really annoying and frustrating in this whole process is no one ever gets in touch with me. Tumbleweed. Every time there's been a little tranche of communication, it's been me that has started it. It's been me that's pushing it and you know, really kind of keeping the simmer on it, as it were. Anyway, last October, I got in touch with Land Registry and I said, for goodness sakes, this is getting ridiculous. I want my lease. I said it more politely than that, of course. And they said, we issued it in April. I mean, it's still 2 years since they should have done it. But anyway, it had been issued in April. So I then got straight onto the solicitor and I said, I related to him what Land Registry had said. And he said, oh no, I've heard nothing. And it's like, look, someone sort this out. I've paid thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds for this. Get it sorted. Again, more politely than that. So I last heard from my solicitor. I say my solicitor, he's not my solicitor. I'm going to come on to that. I last heard from the solicitor 3 months ago. And just trying to get all this stuff done, it was a late night, about 8 o'clock in the evening, I emailed him. I didn't expect an answer at that time of day, but that was the moment I had free to email him to say, I haven't heard from you for 3 months. 3 months ago you said you would be in touch. What is going on? I want to sell my property. I need that lease. My current lease is down to 79 years. No one's going to get a mortgage on a 79-year lease. And then lo and behold, the next morning, about 8 o'clock, I didn't see it straight away, but about 8 o'clock he emailed me and said, oh yeah, it's been really difficult, blah, 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 here's your documents. And they were all attached. Now I did think to myself, I emailed him at 8 p.m. He sent me the documents at 8 a.m. He didn't get the documents overnight. He must have already had those documents. But I obviously wasn't a priority. When would he have sent those to me if I hadn't yet again been the one emailing and chivying? Anyway, I've got the documents now. I don't have a hard copy. I need a hard copy. So what I'll have to do is download those documents onto one of those stick things, take it to a print shop and get it printed. I mentioned it I was chatting with Paul and he said, oh, send it over here. I'll print it for you and post it back. And I would have accepted that offer of help if it had been a couple of pages, but it's not. It's about, I don't know, 40, 50 pages. There's 3 different documents. But yeah, at least I've got that now. but it has reminded me, and I've got it on my pin board, there's lots to get on with today. Solicitor, I need to find, I'm getting warm now. Finally, our temperatures are coming up. I've still got thermals on underneath this, but I am getting warmer. I need a solicitor for 2 reasons. One, I need to change my will, because my current will is everything goes to my sister. She's dead. What's going to happen? So I need to make that clear that I want things to go to my nephew, to some friends, charities, what have you. So I need to redo my will. I'm also going to need a solicitor for the house move. So I've got details of a local solicitor that comes highly recommended for exactly this sort of stuff: wills, family stuff, house moves. And that's from one of my buddies down at the allotment who, this goes back to about November, one of my garden sessions in November. I've hardly been in the garden. But yeah, she, I don't know how the conversation came up, but she was talking about something that was to do with solicitors. And I said to her, oh, I need a solicitor because, you know, since Nikki's death, I need to change my will and etc. And she said, oh, these people are really great, I'll give you that. Anyway, so I've got a little scrap of paper on my pin board with the solicitor's details, and there's a little bit of mud. There's a little bit of mud on the scrap of paper because it was handed to me in the garden. So yes, engage a new solicitor, that's on the list to do. But so far today, all sorts on. And the other thing I've done today is, and we're going to go out there in a second, the hallway. The hallway needs decorating. I'll explain it more when we get out there. It's from when the roof was replaced and the old, really, really old Victorian Skylight, it just rotted. So we've got a new Velux. So I've gone to good old Checkatrade. So this, within the UK, this is an organisation where there's all sorts of different trades in here, but it's sort of, it's a bit of a safety net. They're recommended, but also the organisation Checkatrade have checked certain things out about them, and they even guarantee up to £1,000 worth of work. Now, obviously, it depends what you're having done. It might be over 1,000, which I think it's going to be the case for us. So I've put the call out to, so you go onto their website and you say what job it is you want, and already I've had a couple of decorators get back to say, we're interested in your job. So now I'll at some point today I'll follow that up. So we're now going to get into that phase of organising things so that I can have people come over and quote for the job. And in doing that, in my building there are 3 flats and then the shop below. So the hallway is nothing to do with the shop. So I've been in touch with my two neighbours to say, you know, I'm going to get on and get this done, because I know they're interested in getting the entire hallway done, not just this roof area that's outside my door. So I'm going to get 2 quotes, one for just the top bit and one for the whole hall. So letting my neighbours know, one's come back to me and said, oh, here's 2 more for you to ring. So as per usual, it's going to be me organising everything. Another thing I've done this morning is we pay a service charge each year. I organise it all. I organise it. I look after the money. I pay the bills when it's, you know, I'm not paid as a building caretaker, but that's kind of what I am, purely because when I moved in, all 3 flats, we all moved in at the same time, and the shop, the whole building, everything had been sold at the same time. So we were all brand new. We all sat together one day. It was very civilised to say, right, how are we going to organise everything? And stupid me put my hand up and said, oh, I'll be the caretaker, kind of thing. Just because I'm organised and with finances and all that. So it's my own fault. I offered, but every now and again that comes back to bite me on the bum, as it's doing right now, because I'll get all these quotes and then I have to go around asking everybody, whereby I should have just got my roof done, just got it done and not mentioned it to anyone. Anyway, that's now in progress. I've got those 2 extra numbers that my downstairs neighbour gave me. I'll give them a call this morning as well, see when I can fit people in to come and view, to give us a quote. But yeah, it all feels a bit going back to that thing about working in the sort of 9 to 5, Monday to Friday job. I really feel like I could do with 2 weeks of annual leave, paid leave, 2 weeks to try and do loads and loads and loads of these jobs. Without having those 2 weeks, I have to just get on with them at the same time as doing all my ordinary stuff. So for instance, today I'm making a video with you right now. This afternoon I'm going to try and make another video as well. But yeah, that's underway. Solicitors, so today's call, solicitors, the other 2 decorators, lease, tick. I've done that order, The soup out of the freezer already. We're having courgette and potato for lunch today. I need to get some parm. I'm going to do risotto again today. I realised the last time I did a day in the life with you all, I had pea risotto for my supper. I think that's what I'm going to have again today. Although, I'm not going to get the parmesan out of the freezer just yet because I don't know how today is going to go. Yeah, right, let's get on. Let me just go and show you what's going on with the haul, because there are a couple of jobs for me out there which I can at least sort of start to get underway today. So look, that's what I'm going into a period now where something will have to suffer. I don't know what's going to suffer, probably the garden, but I need all this house stuff is now priority. It's numero uno. Literally everything else, apart from earning money by making videos in my shop, everything else can fall by the wayside for now, because yeah, I've got to get this house sorted. Right, let's go to the haul. I need to get my I've got a notebook handy. I've already got my bits and bobs ready for today's bits. I've got some plaster, bits and bobs ready. First job though is a measuring job. I need to get my long ruler. Let's go and get on. First things first, excuse the mess. we're going to tip down and see some mess. This shot is a bit tricky because of the skylight, but around it you can see that's all bare plaster, and that smudges up onto the walls either side and the ceiling, so it all needs painting. And in the past, we're going down. Oh, sorry. In the past, I wouldn't have thought twice about it, but... Oh, this is going to be too clunky on the tripod. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought twice about it, but I don't trust my knees not to buckle, wobble, and toss me all the way down this hole, this staircase. Ah, there we go. Light's a bit better, you can see. So this is all going to get painted, all the walls, obviously. So, yeah, that all needs doing. I've got a little access hatch there. I'm going to make a cover for that. That's to some pipes in the bathroom. And then masses of cardboard to take to the garden. And then I've got my gas meter. And there's a tiny... Oh, I should have said as well with the Velux, it doesn't really pick up on this image because of the light, but it needs cleaning. Now, I wonder if I can demonstrate. So the top half, this top half moves. You can see, look, the bottom half is really sort of streaky, algae streaky. Let me just come past you and see. Oh, hang on, moving you. Hold on a sec. Let me see if I can demonstrate. Where's me stick? Oh, it's in the corner. Hello. So with the top half, this top section, I can open it with my long thing. Now, what I've done in the past to clean it is, if I stand on tippy toe here. Look, it's impossible lighting because that source of light. But anyway, if I stand on tippy toes, what I found is I can just about squirt a little run of washing up liquid onto the top of the window. then I can kind of get some water chucked on it, and then I use my kitchen mop. It's like a spongy mop, and again on tippy toes, balancing sort of like this. I can I can give it a clean like this, slushy, 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 slush. And then the last bit, which step do I normally stand on? Maybe I'm on this lower step. Yeah, I think it's this step I do it from. And then the last bit is, then I get some clean water, get that clean water chucked, push it up, and it all runs off. So fine, that sort of works okay. And you can see it does, because that window is considerably clearer. The bottom panel is fixed. Arrgh! And I haven't cleaned it for 18 months or so, and you can see it's got that algae on because it's north facing, it's cool, it's damp, the algae is loving it. The only way for me to clean it is to crawl out on the roof through, there's a tiny, tiny little hole. I just fit through, yeah, even with my great big bum. So what I'm going to have to do is, I'm going to crawl out there, take the mop, push the mop through that little hole, push a bucket of water and my soap and stuff out through that hole, and then do it from the outside. I should be able to reach. But it's a little tip for any of you. If I stand in front of the light source, will somebody see me again? Yeah, it's a little tip for any of you who are maybe going to have a Velux or one of these kind of windows put in. Make sure they both open, the fixed ones, or if you're going to have one of them fixed, work out how on earth are you going to clean it, because honestly it blocks light, it looks horrible. Every time I come out my front door it looks horrible. And I've got a fantastic, oh my knees, you see, that's why I don't want to get on the step ladder in the hallway, because my knees just buckled. I've got a fantastic view out there. You know, I want to be able to see it. So yeah, either have them both as movable windows, or, you know, work out how on earth are you going to clean it. But also at this time of year, it's a bit early yet, but for, you know, if there are seedlings out here, they wouldn't be out here yet because it's too cold. But by about, I didn't do any from home last year, but generally speaking, by about the end of April, I'll have tons of seeds out here, seedlings, where they'll have been started in the warmth in the flat, and they'll be in that south facing window, really, really warm. And as a way of starting the hardening off process, they come out here where it's still warmer than the garden, and at night it's warmer than the cold frame, but come out here to start hardening. What I don't want is an occluded light source for my little baby seedlings. Anyway, so that's a job. Am I going to get on with that today? I might do that today. One of my knees is a bit naughty. One of the things that went wrong was one of my knees blew up the other day. Right, so that's the Velux, and my hint and tip if you're having one fitted. Now let's get further down there, because I want to do something with the gas meter. I've also just remembered, can you make out just there? That's a pan, that's a big pan. Because, hang on, let me pop you back on the tripod so we can chat. But yeah, the pan is out on the roof. There's my pan lid. Hang on a tick. The pan is out there. And actually, I'm not including this in some of the things that went wrong in the last couple of days, but that pan is out there. I completely forgot, because a few nights ago, when it was still really cold, really, really cold, it got to about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I thought, oh yeah, this is now getting a bit unbearable. I've got 6 layers on top, I've got my blanket over me, I was writing. Time for a hot water bottle. Went to fill my hot water bottle, my water had gone off, disappeared. I reckon it does it at least once a year. Come on, Thames Water, pull your fingers out. Anyway, so my water was off, so I had no water to make a hot water bottle. I did, fortunately, I had one full water bottle. I always keep one full, sort of spare. And then the other one was half drunk, so I thought at least I've got water to drink, and I'm not going to use my drinking water for a hot water bottle, but I'm really, really cold. and it was lashing with rain. So I thought, I know, I'll put a pot on the roof, catch some rainwater, boil that for my hot water bottle. Unbelievable. So I must have checked on it after about 2 hours. It's like that much water, not enough for a hottie pot. But it was lashing rain. I think maybe it was too much in the eaves of the building. I should have pushed it further out. Anyway, I gave up, and then about midnight, I think, my water came back on. So I did a little woohoo. By then, I'd drunk all my water. So quickly filled both my water bottles back up in case it goes off again, and filled the kettle, but without actually making a hot pot, because by then I was kind of thinking about bed. Anyway, that's why I have a big saucepan on my roof, catching rainwater to make a hot water bottle. I mean, come on. Richard and Paul were saying in Sunday chat recently that they felt like we've kind of gone back to being Victorians. You know, you've got one lump of coal to keep you warm for the whole day. So yeah, not only no heat, no water. Oh, and my internet was dropping in and out as well. It's like, okay, please don't let my electricity go off, because if that happens, I really am going to have a hissy fit. Anyway, what we're here for is pad, pencil. Oh, I meant to bring a tape measure as well, because this ain't flexing, my little measure. Let me swing you round. Oh, first of all, let's try and stand, because this is a bit of a monstrosity, isn't it? This is my gas meter. And you can, you can't quite see there, can you? But there's all this like plaster water dribble. I mean, yeah, it really needs, the whole thing needs decorating. It's ugly, it's horrible, it's unfinished, and I don't want to put a buyer off. So this might be a bit awkward with the tripod standing in the way. But what excuse me, what I'm going to do is make a really simple box to cover it. This I won't get covered, we'll paint that, just get that painted white. But yeah, just a simple box, so sort of obviously sticking out far enough to cover it, wide enough to encapsulate it, with a little hole in the side there to slot over. But yeah, a very simple box. I'll paint it white because the whole hall is being painted white. Fairly quick and easy. In fact, making the box shouldn't take too much time at all. It'll be painting it that ends up taking a little bit of time. But I want to do that just so that, let me see if I can bring you back a bit. I want to just explain a little bit how I want to stage. Hang on. Clunky. So you come up the stairs. This is what I don't want to fall down when I'm, when I've got a step ladder across the hallway. So this all needs painting. All needs painting all the way. Look, all that yucky plaster stuff all needs painting. And then when I come to actually staging for selling, what I want to do on this little half landing, because the light here is beautiful. Get the gas box covered. Simple, quick job, shouldn't cost too much, but it will make, I think, a huge difference just to hide it because it's so dashed ugly. And then what I'm planning is one of my narrow tables is to have a narrow table here with some plants on. Hang on, we need to go back a bit further, don't we? I'm going to take you off the tripod. Clunky moment. Oh, clunky. Yeah, let's get backwards a bit. So yeah, as you come up the stairs, the light is beautiful. When you've been winding your way up the whole building and it's dark, to suddenly you come to this light, it's gorgeous and it's a real impact moment. It had an impact on me when I bought the property. But then what I'm imagining, so as you come up and turn the stairs here, is just a narrow table there with some plants on it, maybe a decorative object, I can't think what at the moment. That will be covered, so it'll be considerably less noticeable. And I just think as a sort of first impression coming in, with all this light pouring in once I've cleaned the window. Yeah, I'm hoping that will be the first moment of someone coming to view the property and they think, oh wow, love this. And also it makes it feel like the property has already started even before they've come through the front door. Right, none of that's going to happen until I measure up, and then I'm going to go out in a minute. I might bring you with me. I'm going to go to my local ironmongers to see if they've got any offcuts of wood that will suffice for making this little box with. Yeah, I think that's what we should do next. Right, put your coats on. Oh, it's been such a joy coming here over the years. Loving all that, loving. But the main thing is wriggling out of the way. Off carts, yay! So there's plenty. And then if needs be, even if they didn't work, I could just buy a big bit
8x4
and have it cut down. But I think off cuts are going to do me. Right, let's go and measure up. Yeah. And then I can. So we reckon it's going to probably be about 5.
It depends what.
Did you get some? Did you think we were going to have some snow?
Right, yeah.
A bit of overstock there.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it in here. Packed to the rafters.
How many you want?
Yeah. How many sledges do I want?
Yeah.
I'll take 10.
10, yeah.
You never know though, because when was the Beast from the East? That was that was March, wasn't it? It happened in March. So yeah, don't give up hope.
No.
Right, let me get on and go and grab my measurements, and I think I can manage to carry them as well. But look, every nail you can see. These have been my go-to guys for 24 years. Fantastic. Right, watch yourself down the steps, Vivi. Yeah, will do. Right, those guys in the ironmongers, they're so lovely. I was just chatting about why I need some bits and bobs. I was like doing up the flat because I'm going to sell, because I need to move, because of my knees, and they were all like, well, yeah, but you can't move out of the area. And I said, I don't know, I might have to, because the prices are just crazy. So I'm actually in the street. It's a really busy morning, it's the weekend, but yeah, I said I might have to, I might be priced out, but I'm going to look here. That's the main thing, and see what I can find. So I just thought, because I'm just going to go to a shop round the corner. Oh, it's getting noisy. I'm actually outside an estate agent. Now, it's one of the posh ones, but let me give you a quick look at what's on offer in my area. This is a little 2-bedroom cottage. Out of my price bracket. This is, oh my goodness, that's a whole house. That's not the best part of my area. It's sort of down at the bottom of the hill. That's 3/4 of a mil. 3-bed flat. That's actually right behind me where I'm standing now. 3 beds. I don't need 3 beds. Over £500,000. Little house. £750,000. Oh, a little bungalow. Oh, this bungalow. This is a bungalow. It's right near to the allotment. Oh my goodness, it's literally next door to the allotment gate. That would be ideal for me, except it's 3 beds. I don't need 3 beds. And it is £750,000. Here, this is more like, we're getting into flats now. This is a 2-bed flat. But the problem is, you can tell straight away from the pictures. Look at that picture. You see the sloping ceilings? Sloping ceiling in the kitchen. It's the attic conversion, or not the attic, but it's in the top of the house. It looks nicely presented. 2 beds, but it's still, it's 380. That's still over my top end. Here's another flat. This is 2 bedrooms. So we're getting down to now my needs, 1 or 2 bedrooms, probably 1 bedroom. But again, you can tell from that the slopes, it's up in the top. So what does a 2-bed flat in my area cost? 500,000, over 500,000. Flipping heck. So yeah, that's why I'm saying to the guys, I might have to move 2 or 3 miles down the road. Right, I'm going to pop, I'm just going to pop to, this is my little Sainsbury's local tucked in the corner here behind the pub. I want to show you something on the back of this pub actually, it's very lovely, a mural. But yeah, I'm not doing any food shopping today, but I thought while I'm out at this end of my neighbourhood, I'm going to do some pricing up. I've got my notepad for the next, you might have seen it by now, I don't know, but for another homemade versus shop bought recipe I'm going to do. So instead of actually buying items, I'm just going to price them up, you know. I bought all those tins of tomatoes. So yeah, that pub, it's the old Greyhound, and look at this fabulous mural on the back of the Greyhound. Oh! Sorry, it's really noisy. It's Saturday morning, and yeah, it's fab, isn't it? And it's all made up from.
It took a long time to do that, didn't it? Eh?
Yeah.
Exactly. Do you know all the years I used to come in this pub here? I'm not kidding.
What, before they knocked it down?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. So we'd have been standing in the old days. We'd have been standing out by the pool table.
Do you know what? I was in 1987. I was in there when I was divorced.
What's your name, by the way?
Ron.
Ron. Say hello, Ron.
Hi.
And you know when people say, "Oh, people in London aren't friendly," of course they are. We're friendly, aren't we?
Friendly.
I'm going to turn this
That's
off
right.
now while you tell me all about your memories of our lovely
I
pub.
just wondered if my face was on that, you know. I just wondered.
Yeah,
about
because
that.
it's all made
I
up.
was in there every night. I was when I was divorced. Every night.
Do you know what?
Drinking when I went home.
So-
How I got to work, I never know.
So when you got divorced, basically what you're saying is the pub became your new missus.
Yes, it was actually. Yeah, played the pool
But you
and
know-
everything and all sorts of things.
Company, isn't it? It's company.
Then I met all of my mates there. All of a sudden they said, "Do you want a drink?" You get a drink. It went backwards and forwards. It was like that. Time I come out there.
Do you know what? I've just got back in. The temperature's definitely gone up a bit. I think I need to wear less when I go outside than that I wear at home, because when I'm outside I'm moving all the time, of course, and then I come inside. When I'm inside I'm just sitting still. Anyway, warm. Well, I kind of cut that off sort of rather abruptly. What a sweet guy. What a lovely old gent. We stood there and chatted for, well, I think he would have chatted for the rest of the day. I excused myself after about 15 minutes though, because my knees were starting to ache. But yeah, Ron, what a great guy. We were both, I mean, he's been in this hood all his life. I've only been here for 24 years, but both sort of reminiscing on some of the changes that have happened and remembering that pub back in 2000, 2001, 2, when the Aussies, the Australians ran it, and it was just a really lovely, friendly, chilled place to go, and the kind of place you can go as a woman on your own. No one's going to bat an eyelid about a lass drinking on her own. No one's going to hassle you. So yeah, that was really sweet. I'm glad. So that little foray, quick little foray. The DIY store, the ironmongers, that was really sweet as well. They were like, you can't, you know, you're one of our best customers. All I've done is do flat top. Great that they've got those offcuts. Brilliant. So I didn't pick them up today. I might go and grab some bits in the week. And I think because they were sort of fattish and long, one of those fatter bits, I think I can just cut in half for the sides would do it. So I'm going to just double check all my measurements, check twice, cut once, check it once, cut twice, whatever. And actually with some of those bigger bits, they'll probably cut them to size for me, knowing those guys. Really, really lovely. I think that shop, that business opened only a few years before, I think they've just had their 30th anniversary. So yeah, when I started going in there, they were still a fairly new business. Anyway, they're going strong, brilliant. That's why I want to stay in this neighbourhood if I can. But yeah, quick look at those flat prices. What I see happening, so the next thing, one of the things that's also on my to-do list is to try and get a doctor's appointment to see the doctor to say, will you please write a letter, a statement of some sort to say, yes, I need a bus pass because of mobility issues. Because if I can get a free bus pass, I can move 2 or 3 miles away from my high street, but I'd still be able to access it. Just jump on the buses. So that's also motion. Right, so today's list. There's quite a lot now. So I'm gonna make some phone calls to painters and decorators. I've got some new stock for this shop to photograph. The light is good today, so I might do that next, do some photography. I've got some new stock for the shop that needs ironing. So I'll get the iron out. This is all my, balancing on my knee, hang on a tick. These are my swing tags, crunchy. Yeah, these are the swing tags that go with all of my orders, but they all need, hold on, I'm put it board down a minute. Yeah, they all need personalising with my Vivi's Kitchen Garden stamp. It looks sort of like that. So yeah, that'll take 20-30 minutes to stamp all of them. So yes, lots and lots of little jobs. The reason I'm sort of rounding everything up is because there are lots of jobs now which are going to be quite boring, and I'm not going to put them on film, like phone calls, photographing, and then all of that is computer stuff. What else is on the list? I've done that. I'm going to do a video. I'm going to make a separate video in a minute, probably. So I think what I'll do, I'm trying to think also in terms of mucky jobs, get mucky jobs out of the way, and then sit and do quiet, calm jobs. So I think my next job is to try and crawl out onto the roof and get that Velux window cleaned. Is that a priority today? Anyway, and then later on make me dinner, pea risotto, and then the rest of the night will be spent editing, rendering, uploading, So it's just, it's just a normal Saturday for me. I'll be on the go until about midnight, but that's fine. It's about getting things done. It's about cracking on with these lists. The wheels are in motion for the hallway, both in terms of hiring the decorators to do it, but also for me to make that box, which I've been meaning to make for 18 years. 18 years. We've all done it, haven't we? We've all done it where we've lived with something annoying us for 15 years and we fixed it at the last minute in order to sell the property. It's one of those lessons, isn't it? When I go into my next property, something like that gas meter box will go on my to-do list. And I imagine, because I imagine I'm going to be moving into a doer-upper. That's the only way I'm going to be able to afford anything. I imagine that it's going to take me probably 2 or 3 years to get through my to-do list when I move. But yeah, gas meter covering box will go on the to-do list when I move straight away. I'm not going to leave it this long. Wheels are in motion. There were other wheels. What were my other wheels I've put in motion? Oh, I can't remember now. It doesn't matter. I'll start waffling now. It's time to start. I suddenly had a moment of feeling I think it's the enormity. Oh boy. Where's this come from? It's probably the fact that this year is you know, it's going to be a big year. Last year was a big year. This year is going to be a big year. And now that I'm properly starting to say, right, what needs to happen in order to move the kitchen? God, the kitchen's an enormous task. That combined with just now talking to the guys at the ironmongers, it's that sort of reality of this is happening, and the part of the whole issue with all of it is always has been the issue is I don't actually want to move out of this flat because I blooming love it. It's so perfect for me. It's a simple little home and I love it. But I can't do the stairs, so I have to move. And part of that is, what if I can't find anywhere around here and I have to leave the area? It's going to break my heart. Obviously, you know, you go somewhere new, you make new friends, all that. I get it. Yeah, I'm prepared for that. But yeah, I think that suddenly that emotion that just whooshed up then, I think it's to do with the fact that, oh my goodness, I'm going to end up full on crying now. I've been so happy here. But I have to leave. Simple as that. Right, well, goodness me, I've got my hankies to hand. Wow, aren't emotions weird? You know, I always think that I don't suppress emotions. I think I'm quite good with my emotions in terms of acknowledging them, recognising them, allowing them, that sort of thing. But I think when emotions come out of nowhere like that, suddenly, I've had a really great morning, a really, really good, productive morning so far. It's coming up for, I just look at the kitchen clock, it's 1:15, I'm going to go and have my lunch and then crack into all that other stuff on the list. So yeah, it's been a really, really good, productive morning. It's been a happy morning and I've been out and about, it's lovely, a bit of sunshine. So to come home and then suddenly have that whoosh of tearfulness makes you realise that actually, makes me realise for myself, but I think we can all relate to it, that there are all sorts of emotions going on and have been going on for, you know, the last couple of years or so, which I've probably been pushing down a bit, probably keeping them down, because if I let them out, I don't know whether I'll be able to cope with the situation I'm in, frankly. So there we go. Anyway, gosh, things, you know, my videos are never scripted. I never know what direction they're going in. I usually have a good idea, but not completely. Right, I'm hungry. I'm going to go and have my, what did I say I've got? Can I see it on the side from here? Yes, it's green and speckledy, which can only mean one thing: courgette and potato soup. And whilst I was out, when I was behind the pub to that shop, that's one of the shops ticked off on my list of shops to visit to do some pricing up for my next homemade versus shop recipe. Doing a bit of research whilst I'm out and about, which is great. All right, I really am waffling now, so I'm going to say cheerio to you all for now. See you again soon. Don't know what we'll be up to. Yeah, by the time I next see you, I might even be able to show you a slightly improved situation in the hallway. Not necessarily the decorating, because I've got to argue with everyone about who to pick and why we shouldn't and all that kind of... I'm dreading it. Not going to think about it. Going to stay in today and do today. Not think about tomorrow yet. Until the next one, take care of yourselves, lovelies. Cheerio.